There's 5 months left until the start of the GCSE and A-level exam season. You might be stressed, you might not be getting the top grades, but if you watch this video till the end, I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do, exactly what you need to implement to get the top grades, to get all 9s or all A stars in your GCSEs and A-levels with only an hour of studying a day. Firstly though, I'm Shigs, and over the past 2 years, I've helped thousands, if not tens of thousands of students just like you get the top grades in their GCSEs and A-levels. Not only do I teach you how to get the top grades, I teach you to do it in a way that's efficient, so you don't need to study more than an hour a day, and without needing any expensive tutors. Since there's 5 months left until the GCSE and A-level exam season, there's still plenty of time to make improvements and get the top grades, even if your grades right now aren't that good. So here's 3 things that you need to implement over the next 5 months to get the top grades. Make sure to stick around for the last one because it's something that people don't take into account at all. Let's get right into it. The first thing that you need to be doing as a GCSE or A-level student is to understand the differences between each subject that you take. That might sound a bit useless, but let me tell you a story. In year 11, I was convinced that I knew how to study. For basically all of my subjects, I was getting 9s easily using my studying techniques, except one subject, or 2. English Lit and English Lang. No matter how hard I studied, no matter how many hours I put in, I can never crack into 7s, let alone 8s and 9s for English. I literally scoured YouTube. I scoured the internet to understand how to study for English. And then I came to a realization. English is different. In fact, all subjects are different. My issue wasn't that I wasn't good at English. My issue was that I was treating it like all my other subjects. My studying technique was very efficient and effective, but for a certain type of subject. You see, my technique was optimized for subjects that have problem solving and memorization, but English is more essay based. And so the studying technique was working very well for the rest of my subjects. I was getting 9s, but then when it came to English, that same studying technique was not working at all. I was still getting 5s and 6s. So I started implementing a studying technique that suits English. And I'm not lying when I say that within literally 2 months or even less, I jumped from 5s to 8s. And so before anything, before you even study, the thing that you need to do is to sit down and understand each subject and its nature and how they differ from each other. Then when you understand the nature of each subject, that's when you start crafting studying techniques that are optimized for each subject and its nature, not just a general studying technique. A very easy way of doing this is just to look at this Venn diagram that I've made and to take each subject that you take and put it where it belongs on this Venn diagram. So these are the 3 elements that each subject is comprised of. Then once you understand each subject and its nature and which elements comprise that subject, you can then go and craft studying techniques based on those elements. If you want this Venn diagram, you can just get it for free in the link in my description. Okay, so that was step 1. Now we understand the nature of each subject and how they differ. We now need to understand how we're going to craft studying techniques for each subject. This part is very important, so make sure you watch it fully because I'll be talking about my trademark technique that I've been using for over half a decade and it's never failed me. Firstly though, based on the blend of the elements that each subject is comprised of, we're going to now craft a studying technique that reflects it. For example, if a subject is more memorization heavy, like biology, we're going to implement more spaced repetition and more active recall. We can do that through flashcards. But if a subject is more problem solving heavy, like maths or even physics, then we'll implement more practice questions. You get the idea. You look at each nature of the subject and then you say, okay, what studying technique complements this nature? Now this might feel a bit overwhelming, especially because the exam season is not that far away. That's why I'm excited to announce the launch of my new program, the Ultimate Guide to Acing Your GCSEs and A-levels. Now some of you might know about the Ultimate Guide to Acing Your GCSEs. Some of you might have taken it. That's a program that I've been running for over a year now. And a lot of students have taken it and seen success. However, I've taken their feedback and I've also taken all of the experience that I've gained from coaching these students and I've implemented it all to make a better program for you. And so if you're a GCSE or A-level student that wants to get the top grades, but you don't want to study half of the day and you don't want to spend a lot of money on tutors, then this program is what you need. You first get the updated video program. It's around an hour and a half to 2 hours of content that outlines exactly what you need to do from A to Z to get the top grades. This video program includes how to craft efficient studying techniques for each subject, and then a practice questions masterclass, a flashcards masterclass. And then we also talk about often overlooked factors like external revision and other lifestyle factors that will affect your studying. Not only that though, there's a new addition to the program, our new service, which is a personalized study plan just for you. You tell us exactly what subjects you take and we'll create a personalized study plan that suits you and you only. So you don't need to waste time and effort trying and then failing and trying and then failing to find that studying technique. Instead, we'll use our 2 years of experience coaching GCSE and A-level students to do that for you. Now, to celebrate the launch of this program, we're offering the first 10 people to sign up a free consultation call so we could really get into your studying routine and what might be holding you back from getting the top grades. If you want to guarantee one of those consultation calls, click the first link in the description right now. Now, remember the studying technique that I talked about that I've been using for nearly 6 years now and that's never failed me? Well, I call it the NFT method. I've already made a whole video explaining it in detail, and you could check that video out if you want. But let me briefly explain what it is. First of all, it stands for notes, flashcards, test questions. Now, this method is perfect for any subject that falls somewhere in this area of the Venn diagram. Any subject that has a blend of memorization and problem solving, the NFT method is what you need to be using. And by the way, that's the majority of subjects. First step is to take a resource, like a video or a textbook that explains the content, and turn that into your own notes. And then you take those notes and turn them into flashcards. So now we're implementing summarization and spaced repetition. And then the last phase is to grind out test questions, to consolidate all of that content that you've learned to match exactly what the examiner is looking for. I've been using the NFT method since I discovered it in year 11. And here I am, nearly 6 years later, still using it to get the top grades in university. Now, the third and final thing that you need to be doing over the next 5 months to get those top grades is to take care of the rest of your life. Yes, studying is very important and it's the majority of what I talk about. However, there are some lifestyle factors that if you don't get them right, they'll literally hold you back from getting the top grades. For example, no matter how smart you are or how much you study, if you're getting 4 hours of sleep every single day, you're not getting the top grades. I can guarantee that. Ask anyone that's gotten all 9s or all A stars in their GCSEs or A levels how many all-nighters they've had to pull to get the top grades. I can guarantee that their answer is going to be little to none. Now, sleep is very important. And if you want to know how to get it right, then I've made a whole video that explains exactly how to optimize your sleep for all A stars, which you could watch after this one. Now, there are a lot of other lifestyle factors that you need to get right, and one of them is brain rotting. If you're averaging 5 to 6 hours of TikTok and Instagram Reels every single day for the next 5 months, I can guarantee that your brain is too fried. It will be too fried to get the top grades. If you want to study efficiently and get the top grades, there's going to have to be some sacrifices. Of course, the best case scenario is that you completely delete Instagram and TikTok off your phone and live like a normal human being like we used to back in the day. However, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that I do that. I'll be honest, sometimes I have Instagram on my phone. Most of the time though, I have it deleted. If you think that you can't delete Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat fully, there's other things that you could do. For example, I use the browser for most of the social media because these companies invest in their apps more than their browser. And so the browser still does the same functionality, but just a much slower and less efficient and just less optimized way. What you're gonna notice is that it's more clunky, it's a bit slower. So you can still watch reels and reply to your friends and look at their stories and whatever. However, your brain is not gonna be as addicted. And so you're gonna spend less time on it. That's one solution that I've been using for the past couple of years and it works. Other solutions, of course, include just having screen time. However, a lot of people just ignore it and keep on scrolling. But your grades matter. And over the next 5 months, if you really wanna get the top grades, there might be some sacrifices that you have to make. If that means deleting Instagram for the next 5 months, I think you could do it. It's not that hard. Anyways, those were the 3 things that you need to implement over the next 5 months to get all 9s or all A stars in your GCSEs or A levels. Just to recap, the first thing is to break up every subject, understand its nature. Then the second step is to craft efficient studying techniques, or you can have us craft them for you. And then the third step is to optimize the rest of your lifestyle so that you can get the top grades.